Hello and welcome to Fresh Start Week 7. 7th week of lifting in a row. Feeling better for it actually, which is good. For the longest time I've bloody lifted in a row without having to stop. Switch up the exercise, switch up the days today, this week. So starting out muscle snatch and then a bit of clean and jerk. So I did 90 kilo muscle snatches, clean and jerk, triples at 110. I'm following the same structure that I did before I had the hip surgery, just because that's what got me very strong. It got my lifts to the highest they've ever been. So not the exact same structure, but it's a lot more similar. But these were good. 110 clean and jerks. Been on 90, 110. I want to say 5 or 6 weeks now. So I'll see where I feel in a few weeks or so, but at least one more week, I think. We then did some deadlifts. This is 220 for a set of 3. And we then did 220 for a paused triple, which is a large PB. I don't know exactly what, but pretty hefty PB there. I think the back position looks a bit better. It doesn't look as rounded over. I'm definitely staying a bit more upright, which is nice. This feels like it's pretty useful, just for overall load. But it also feels like my lifts off the floor, my cleans are actually feeling a lot faster. It is obviously only 110, but back offset 170. Happy days. That's moving very easily. Tuesday we did some drop catches, shoulder prep. Trying to kind of work on the rate of force development of my shoulders as well, just for when they're catching weights. And then some iso holds, deep ranges, stretching out the front delts and the chest. Again, these have been really nice for me. And then in the evening we were actually able to do some broad jumps, which is awesome. Able to do some max broad jumps and some bounds. First time in bounds for a year and a half, 2 years maybe. We did our 10 sets of 10 meters, and then after the sprints we just did some drop jerk dips and I want to say some Zercher squats. Treating this more like an S&C day rather than a weightlifting day. Just feel like sticking with the 3 days a week weightlifting at the moment is sensible. I feel like the Zerchers have been pretty useful, keeping the tension in your upper back, helping me to kind of feel a bit more balanced as I'm squatting down and not just hinging forward as much. Obviously if I do, I'll lose the bar forward. I am cooking pasta while I make this, so you might hear some cooking noises in the background. Here are the same videos again for some reason. And no, I will not be editing them out because I can't be asked. Oh, this was the Instagram edit of all of them, 1 rep of each. So, well, you get to see them again. It's not the end of the world. And then on Wednesday, we actually had a very big upper body day. 3 sets of 4 at 97 overhead press. Again, huge volume PB. Very happy. And then we actually pushed the external rotations to 15 kilos. So, I mean, I'm very happy with this range, for one. Still want to get it to horizontal, but I'm not going to bump it heavier than 15 because it felt brutal. Thursday, did some snatch plus hang snatch, which is probably going to be my snatch complex of choice at the moment. 90 kilos. And then we did, this is heaves. There is a EMOM coming up. Heaves at 140 again. I'm quite happy with that. That's promising. That's not for the weight, but mainly for the knees. And then we did 20 minutes of singles 110. EMOM again. Just trying to push the volume at 90, 110. We'll do so for another week. pretty happy with a lot of these. Definitely a bit of early arm engagement, so I need to work on that. Otherwise, relatively happy. Relatively. Still, obviously, clinically depressed, but I am relatively happy with these lifts. And then, oh, we did some RDLs. After, so another week of 180. Yeah, and sets at 8. Whoops. I would say I'm genuinely not getting bored of this, but I'm gonna probably bump it up in the next week or so. And then on the Saturday we did our snatch volume, kind of the opposite day to the Monday. Snatch volume and then a clean and jerk complex. So we did 4s at 90 kilos on the snatch, obviously feeling very easy. And then we did some 110 kilo, I want to say power clean, hang power, and then power jerk. Rounded it off with my first front squats in a long time, since the knee injury, so, well, what feels like forever, but since September last year, so 4 months or so. Only 90 kilos, but barefoot tempo, again, just to feel that balance and that control. And that is it for another week. So, thank you very much for listening.